Hello, what's up, allies? How's it going? Give me 1 second here. Okay, good. We're good. Sweet. I want to do a quick impromptu stream. Taking a break from reviewing Ukulele, which should be going up maybe next week. Hopefully. Gotta stop promising things and not hitting dates and stuff. So I'm working on that. I want to take a break. And what prompted this was I was looking at my old reviews, and I went to OpenCritic to look at my profile because I suppose I have a profile on there, and I was only have like 12 reviews or something on there. I was like, what the heck? I have way more than 12 reviews. What's going on here? So I actually like dug through a bunch of my old reviews, but the thing is, you have to have links to them. And obviously, since GameTrailers.com is gone, the archive, you could probably go through Wayback Machine and find the text versions, but I was trying to find how many video versions were still around, and I was trying to track down all the reviews. I have a Excel document with most of the reviews I did, I think almost all, from when I started at GT until about 2013, and I stopped tracking them in 2014 because they were so recent. So those ones aren't too hard to find. But anyway, a lot of these weren't bylined. So I'm going to switch over to this. So first things first, a lot of these are going to be reviews I did obviously for game trailers. So this is game trailer stuff. So still that logo up there. So these are all GT reviews. So that's the first thing to know. 2, a lot of these will not be bylined. There was a period where we did not byline reviews, so if we didn't tell you someone reviewed this, you wouldn't have known who reviewed it. So wait, you can't see any video? It's a black screen right now? You should be seeing... Oh, this video is not going up anywhere after. Once the stream is done, we'll leave it up in the archive of the stream, but we're not posting this on YouTube or anything like that, so don't worry. Okay, good. I'm about to switch over to the feed. The thing is, I'm playing these videos off YouTube, so this is my like little mask for when we're about to get ready. So here we go. Let's just get into it. Enough talking. Let's do the first review. Let me know if things are too loud or anything, because it's a weird setup. I'll adjust, but let's just watch this first one. Here we go. Resident Evil Lost in Nightmares.
After exploring Chris and Jill's past in Lost in Nightmares,
Oh, this is Desperate Escape, sorry.
To the present in the latest DLC scenario for Resident Evil 5, Desperate Escape. Set opposite Chris and Sheva's exploits at the end of the game, recently rescued Jill Valentine and BSAA Captain Josh Stone.
This is the more action-heavy one I remember.
Whereas Lost in Nightmares delivers an older-style Resident Evil experience, Desperate Escape is the complete polar opposite. There's never a moment's rest.
Yeah, it was pretty much just like another mission of Resident Evil 5. This
so well
one
done,
was...
it could easily pass as one of the main game's chapters.
Yeah.
There aren't any puzzle elements to speak of, but you won't miss them.
Plus, getting to play more as Jill is pretty good.
You can go it alone with an AI partner, or team up with another player in co-op. Desperate Escape mimics the previous DLC by mixing up enemies and item locations based on the difficulty setting. But on the hardest mode, the game is absolutely brutal.
Oh yeah, there's this one part where it's just like, you gotta hold a
and
point and these enemies just keep coming at you, and it was so hard.
Aside from the new chapter, you'll get to play as 2 newcomers in Mercenaries mode.
Oh man, RE5 Mercenaries was pretty good.
As well as unlock new
oh yeah, Rebecca became unlocked.
Chris's new
And,
costume
yeah,
comes fully equipped with a massive Gatling gun.
yeah, I remember this.
The ability to unload an endless barrage of bullets into helpless
Made you
hordes of
so
missiles.
overpowered.
Sweet payoff indeed.
You gotta ban that from Mercenaries mode.
While it lacks the unique style and feel of Lost in Nightmares, Desperate Escape is a good expansion in its own right. It's comparable in length to the last edition, clocking in at around an hour to complete on your first run through. And you'll get a few replays out of it. If you're looking for one more sample of Resident Evil 5, this is one escape you should definitely take.
Alright, what'd I get? What was the score? What was the score? 8.1. Okay. Just give me a sec. I'm doing some cover-ups here when I switch between reviews, because I don't want to accidentally show. I don't want to give away the game too. I don't want to give away the game too early. Also, I'm looking at email stuff, and I don't want you seeing my email. So, this is my my trick. So this is another review pod. This is a series I actually really like. It's a pretty good series. Let's check it out.
Golden Sun established itself
Golden
as a
Sun,
cult classic
baby.
with its unique combat system, quirky presentation, and heavy emphasis on exploring.
Is this
its vast
Jones?
world. Camelot
It
revisits
is,
the franchise
okay.
once again in Dark Dawn, bringing the series into 3D.
You'll hear some other review voices who aren't Brandon, just
Where
FYI.
appropriate.
Thanks, Darth Emmy.
Dark Dawn opens with a lengthy series
subscriber.
recap, but things soon pick up after.
Yeah,
The plot
just how many
has its
years
quirky charm,
after was
relying
it?
heavily on
Jeez.
text bubbles, candid reactions,
Golden
and
Sun,
emoticons
Golden Sun the
to convey
second.
tale.
Man,
It's a bit long-winded and
another
dull,
one that
but
ends on a
there's just enough
cliffhanger
mystery
too.
and intrigue to hold your attention. One aspect that misses the mark is the user feedback component. During conversations, you pick from 4
Oh,
different
yeah,
emoticon
this thing
responses
was
that are
so
meant to represent your
stupid.
mood in broad strokes. The problem is, you'll often find yourself at a loss as to what exactly your character will convey.
Yeah, this was
emotion in a
not.
given
I didn't like
context.
this.
All this confusion is for naught, ultimately, as your decisions are superficial, having little direct impact
Yeah, it was
on
just
how the
like,
story plays out.
yeah.
While the story lacks punch, the rest of the package certainly shines. Carrying on the essence of its predecessors, Dark Dawn is an RPG experience that nails an almost perfect balance between battle sequences and puzzle solving. The combat is fast-paced and easy to tackle. With a
Golden
simple
Sun. They
interface,
should
but
put Golden
the game takes a
Sun
step in the wrong
on
direction
Switch.
by watering down the
Definitely.
difficulty level. It cuts down on the strategy component, all too frequently allowing you to get away with spamming basic attacks. The clever puzzles make up for this shortcoming, delivering...
Yeah, so I was one of the few people who liked the
Dark Dawn.
puzzle stuff in the
Find them in every
dungeons
dungeon,
for
tower, or
Golden
landmark,
Sun.
and not even the random encounters.
I knew a bunch of people
interfere with your
complained.
enjoyment
Plus
of them.
the
Dark
kind
Dawn
of
places a strong emphasis on exploration. Not only are there
the
ample
non-linear
opportunities for you to
nature
deviate
of
from
the
main
Game
quest,
Boy
you're
Advance
almost
ones.
always rewarded for
I
your
really like
curiosity,
that.
and quite substantially at that. Those worried about getting lost can always turn to the travel log to regain their bearings and return to the main quest objective at hand. One thing you'll have to be careful of is running out of inventory space for your spoils. A hard limit on items per character presents a small nuisance every now and then.
I'm trying to remember that.
The visuals are another highlight, showcasing what the DS is still capable
I keep
of.
forgetting,
even
this is a
late
DS
into
game,
its
this isn't
life cycle,
3DS.
With
I have to
flashy
remember
attack
that.
animations, massive summon sequences that make good use
Oh,
of
yeah,
both
the
screens,
summon stuff
and
was so
stylish,
good.
cel-shaded models. Dark
Jin.
Dawn's soundtrack is equally as impressive, with fitting tunes, though a few miss their mark. It'll take around 25 hours to reach the end of this adventure, though completionists will enjoy dozens more by unearthing every last hidden secret. It's taken a long time for this sun to rise again, but Dark Dawn is a substantial RPG that will appeal to both newcomers and
You can do it,
veterans.
Nintendo. You can bring back Golden Sun anytime now. What did I give this one? I forget. 8.5. 8.5, baby. Nice. All right, what's next on the docket here? Oh, I wonder what everyone's gonna react to this. Sirius is not dead. Don't do that to me. All right, so here we go. See how many of you are surprised. I want to see some people be surprised at some of these reviews. Here we go. Oh man, just got really
The
dark.
enemy
Mario. I'm
crushed
sorry.
my legs, but he couldn't crush my spirit. And he couldn't stop me from serving my country.
The allure of tower defense games lies in their marriage of strategy with the simple joy of seeing tactics pay dividends in real time. Trenched attempts to heighten the magic by putting you directly in the action. It has been done before, no doubt, but Double Fine's latest ups the ante by shifting the action to a more intimate and personal third-person perspective.
Your story is reminding me of Poland.
No time for chit-chat, soldier. A situation has developed.
Trenched throws you into an alternate history post-World War I, where two vets are battling it out over the fate of the world. You side with Frank Woodruff and his
This was
walking over
a
trenches
Ryan
think World War
Stevens
I era mechs,
handed
who
me
are
this
up against
down.
Vladimir Farnsworth and
Pretty
the
sure that-
diabolical
wait,
broadcasts
I might have got
spreading
this
around the
confused,
world
actually.
via
Hang on.
robotic monstrosities
I
called
have-
tubes.
I think I clicked on the wrong one. I am sorry.
They're gone.
Hang on.
Most missions have you defending multiple objectives as
I don't know.
well
My
as
list said I
inclusive
reviewed
position.
this. I don't
Tweak
remember
your trench by
this.
switching out things like weapons and legs. And
Might
you
have
can
to get
also deploy
someone, to
encampments
clarify. I
like
thought
anti-air
Ryan
turrets,
Stevens
repair
reviewed
pods,
this.
and dampening generators that slow down these would-be conquerors of the world. Those turrets are paid for with the scrap left by defeated robots, which can be a pain to collect in the aftermath of a battle.
Don't
given
know
how
about this
relentlessly the
one.
troops strike. This
Might
all
need
feeds into the
to-
game's carefully negotiated balance.
Might need
Keep
a-
customization and loot systems
Gotta make
compared
a-
with
what do you
fairly
call
short
it in,
campaign
Who Wants to Be a
for
Millionaire?
Europe,
Dial a
Africa, and
friend.
Pacific, with each section
Check the
complete with
tapes.
a boss fight that plays up your trench's offensive capabilities.
How old is this? I don't.
More offense.
We'll let it
usually
play
means
out,
fewer
just in
turrets to
case.
deploy, and depending on which way you go, the game will either feel more like a shooter or like tower defense. Enemies have rock, paper, scissors style weaknesses that are generally single-minded, though their varying behaviors mean you'll have to defend yourself as well as your encampments, along with the prime objective.
I feel like
Shooting into the fray can feel as ineffectual as aggressive finger
I feel like the
pointing, with
people who would know the
short-range
answer to this
broadcaster
would be
weapon being the
Ryan
worst
Stevens
defender
or
when it
Miguel
comes to feedback.
Lopez.
When the campaign's over, you can try to tackle things all powered up for medals and better loot, or form a squadron for online co-op.
What?
Trench is doubtlessly a tower defense game, just one that falls further from the tree than most. Though it takes a few missteps, particularly the tedious scrap collection and the
And
lack of a
don't-
survival mode, it's ultimately another notch in Double Fine's belt. Enlist in a good fight
I'm
and
really
bring your
leaning towards
reflexes.
this wasn't
Don't
me.
forget to pepper your
I don't know
trenches,
why
steady
it's
aim
got on the
with
list.
a little help from the turrets.
Little suspect here, but I don't know. I don't know. Those numbers look like something I would do. 8.4. All right. Sorry about that one. That's inconclusive right there. This next one though, this one is definitely me. This one's gonna be F this game coming up. Screw this entire series, Sega. I hate you, Sega, for releasing
Summer
all
movie
this
tide
crap.
is rolling in once again, and this can only mean one thing. Another wave of rushed, substandard video game tie-ins washing ashore to capitalize on an unsuspecting public. Sega has been especially guilty of abysmal adaptations.
That's
of
right,
late,
Sega.
Despite turning to a new developer,
Putting me
the publisher
through
keeps
hell
the
all
streak
these
alive
years.
This year with Thor: God of Thunder.
None of you will leave
Crappy
us
ass
not alive.
licensed movie games.
After thwarting the invasion of his home world of Asgard, Thor feels the need to
Iron
find his
Man,
father Odin, to seek
Thor.
revenge for a dear friend
These
who fell
games
in
are
the
so
conflict.
bad.
Seeing this as an opportunity to serve his own agenda, the trickster Loki deceives the dim-witted God of Thunder into taking a jaunt through the 9 worlds.
Did
in
we
order
really
to
make a
achieve
bunch
justice.
of Shia LaBeouf
For the most
jokes?
part, the storytelling merely goes through the motions in order to rush from one battle scene to the next. Thor is a shameless God of War knockoff without a soul of its own. You're forced to endure countless battles
Look at
against giant
this!
hordes with combat that feels like a drone's
Look at
on and on
this!
thanks to anemic enemy variety and sluggish controls. Despite the aid of a hint
This has the
system,
budget
trying
of
to
Horse
figure out
Racing
objectives or make your way through
2016.
stages boils down to a tedious process of trial and error. Progress is also
Kyle, I think this
sporadically
is
hindered
a
by
dumb
annoying
game
bugs
Monday
and
contender
shoddy
right here.
physics.
I
Some
want you to
Daniels
play
replay
through this
for it
crap.
with a meaningless upgrade system and boring collectibles, but just beating the game once is a Herculean feat.
Spam attacks. Yeah.
The environments aren't lacking in variety, but the level of detail is a far cry from respectable. The visuals are just shockingly bad overall.
Shockingly
The character and enemy
bad.
animations in general lack finesse, and the performance is so bad at times that it's reminiscent of trying to watch.
Yo,
a DVD.
frame rate
The sound
dips!
design, meanwhile, is inconsistent. Audio
Yo!
levels are generally too muted, and the sound effects
Man,
are
maybe I need to
notably absent
reevaluate
during
Breath of the
specific
Wild
action
if
sequences.
this
The
game
soundtrack hardly stands out,
couldn't
and the
handle
voice
it.
work suffers from poor delivery and bad dialogue.
Thanks, Mega
The
Kevin
Emperor
X.
stole slaughter and holocaust.
Your gift
Alarming frame
Snake
rate.
is vengeful thirst.
Ultimately, this is just another low-grade brawler trying to cash in on a hot summer film. Don't take the bait, regardless of how
Don't
much you may dig the
take
source
the
material.
bait!
This is one purchase that you'll regret.
Don't take the bait! Whoa, we're going low, baby. These aren't stars. This is the old 100-point scale. Woo, that would be a 2-star. Oh, that was good. What's next? Ooh, this one's gonna get some people upset. This one's gonna get some people upset right here. Oh, I cannot. This is gonna be such a joy to watch the reactions of this one. Such a pleasure. Call Michael Huber right now. We need Huber to watch this. Come here, Huber. Look at my
The next installment in
disdain
the
for this
Resident Evil
game.
series to get the HD treatment is Code Veronica X. And if Part 4 was your gateway into RE, get ready for a shock.
Get ready for a shock.
What, are you scared?
Unlike the more recent games, this older style of Resident Evil is very likely to be a radical departure for many newcomers, and a harsh reality check for those who wish the series would return to its
Diaper.
roots. Set after the events of Resident Evil 2 and 3, Code Veronica X focuses on heroine Claire
Did
Redfield
not like
and
this
her attempt
game.
to escape from the T-virus
And you know what
outbreak
else?
on Rockford Island.
Dropping some
Later
knowledge
on, the
bombs.
perspective shifts to her brother Chris and his quest
This
to rescue Claire
game's
and track down
story
the menacing
is
Albert
by
Wesker.
Fujibayashi,
Let's
who's the same
portray
person
time of
who
good,
directed Breath of the
coming
Wild.
back to haunt your dear brother.
Look at that Wesker.
Classic Resident
Wesker.
Evil hallmarks all make their expected appearance, but the supporting cast consists of
Can't
some of
wait
the
till we
most
do our
unusual
Zelda spoiler
characters in the
cast.
series. It's hard to imagine
You-
the game's controlled
don't
like this
forget
in the
this
past, and
review,
it's even more
story
difficult
shit.
to tolerate them in this day and age. The fixed camera angles and tank-like character handling will take some getting used to say the least. And level design techniques that in the past successfully elicited scares now come off as annoying flaws. Yes, the inability to see around corners still stirs up some tension, but it's frankly more frustrating than anything else.
Yep.
Capcom also neglected to address some questionable design choices that can seriously put a damper on your advancement through the game. For instance, you can and will be thrown abruptly into boss battles with no escape, no ammo, and low health.
I had to
with no
beat
way
this
heal.
boss
Your option
knife
then is to revert
only.
to an older save if you happen
First
to
time
have
playing
made
through
one.
this.
Otherwise, it's back to the start of the entire game. While the game is called Resident Evil Code Veronica X HD, we're still scratching our heads over where the HD part comes into play. Sure, the lighting is much improved and models are sharper looking. Like Resident Evil 4 before it, the game was simply upscaled to look decent on HD TVs. The voice work is some of the worst in the series, and the ridiculous plot unintentionally comes off as comical.
Let's split up and find another way off this oversized freezer. Right.
Call Huber
Resident
now.
Evil Code Veronica X is a basic port disguised as a major overhaul.
Where's
Capcom
the
included
HD?
online leaderboards for the main game, as well as paltry trophy and achievement support, but the most earnestly competitive component, the battle mode, is neglected without any leaderboards. When you take all the missed opportunities into consideration, along with the game's inherent shortcomings, it's clear that Code Veronica X HD is
I
one
did
trip
not
down
laugh
memory
like
lane
this
that
while
isn't
writing this.
worth taking.
I hear Hawaii is nice this time of year.
Oh, Steve. Oh, Steve. So funny.
What?
Wait a second. What just happened?
This is back when we had a little more fun with our reviews at times. Never show Huber that review. Ever. Huber would be raging. Oh, Huber. I'm sorry, Huber. Did Blood approve this? Nah, this is a... Here we go. Return to a little bit more normalcy here. Bit trip, baby. Tweet Huber that review. I love this game.
There are few notable
these
releases
games.
for Nintendo's underwhelming WiiWare library, and even those rare games have gone largely unnoticed. Gaijin Games and Access are giving Wii owners one last chance to check out a collection of 6 unique rhythmic
Yeah,
games.
no one bought these originally. These people don't like good games.
The full rundown of Bit Trip releases include
Yeah!
Beat, Core,
Oh
Void,
man, I love
Runner,
this stuff.
Fate, and Flux.
So good.
Bit Trip relies heavily on audio and visual cues for its core mechanics, but there's
What's
a
up,
unique
Fraggin'?
spin to the way each game incorporates them. Whether it's as simple as reimagining the concept of Pong or the side-scrolling shooter, there's plenty of creativity here. Each of the individual games is a great throwback to the arcade scene of the 70s.
Yeah, Runner's my favorite one. Bit Trip Runner's the... Yeah, this is the best. Bit Trip Runner is...
Each Bit Trip entry features simple controls, but you'll have to master them if you hope
Bit
to
Trip
overcome
Runner's
the
a
later,
5
more
out of
difficult
5.
levels. No matter how challenging it gets, it'll keep you coming back again and again to try to surmount the hurdle. All of the Bit Trip installments are bite-sized marvels, but you'll easily sink most of your time into Runner.
Yes,
It proves a more
so
comprehensive
good.
platforming experience that conjures up comparisons to indie classic
So
The
good.
Impossible Game.
Yep, the Impossible Game is so good too. Oh, the music in this game, how it goes with it. Oh,
Retro visuals pay homage to 8-bit classics, though there are times when things get too ambitious, making it difficult to effectively judge the action.
oh yes.
It's an infrequent
All
nuisance that's hardly
day.
a serious detractor, and any complaints are quickly drowned out.
That's
by the
right.
stellar
Every
chiptune
mistake is
soundtrack
your
that
fault.
proves
No
excellence
bad
in
hit
a rise from
detection
simplicity.
here. Flawless hit detection.
Bit Trip Complete is the very embodiment of addicting simple premises. And if you missed out on these the first time around, the $40 price tag...
I know,
is
there's a
worth giving
cloud.
them a second chance.
There's a random clouds going overhead right now. I'm not gonna fix it because it'll brighten up in like 2 minutes and be super bright. See, look at this. Good game. Good stuff. Such a good game. All right, now it's time to make Ben more jealous.
Welcome. You're late. I've been waiting a long time.
So that's a joke because we didn't review this till the end of the year, well after it came out.
You could argue that the quality of Japanese-developed RPGs has plummeted in recent years, but with Persona 3, Atlas suggests that the news of the genre's demise has been greatly exaggerated. This isn't your ordinary fantasy adventure.
'Cause we're looking
By tapping into
for
Japanese pop
PSP
culture and
Game of the
injecting a major
Years.
dosage of the occult, the game
And we were like,
radiates
yeah,
an
we
eerie
might
vibe
need to
distinct
review
from
this
its
because
own.
we had a rule.
That's part of the reason Persona works so well. The atmosphere, the characters.
If
and
we
the
didn't
setting
review a
help
game,
together,
it
despite
wasn't
their
eligible for
individual
Game of the Year.
audience.
Well, maybe we could try this again some other time.
This game was a 6? What?
Just joking.
Persona 3 is a multifaceted story with more plot
This
lines than
game
one,
is a 6.
But unlike the acclaimed
What?
TV show, you have direct control.
I'm gonna have to
over how events
agree to
play out.
disagree
Your
here.
actions and responses craft a unique narrative in which no two players' experiences are exactly alike. The game's social simulation elements are grossly addicting for more than their narrative effects, however. The consequences of your choices play an integral role in combat and character development. Your virtual life is quite literally made easier
Oh
or
God,
harder
these
depending on who
voices
you
are
befriend.
horrible.
And there are just too many different possibilities and outcomes to each situation
Ooh.
that it's impossible to experience it all on your first go-around.
Well, here we are. Welcome to Gekukan High. You're gonna love it here.
But it's not all campus life. The exhaustive scouring of the demonic
Junpei.
skyscraper known as Tartarus makes up a substantial portion of Persona 3. It's ultimately the combat that really
I feel like if you ask a casual person about this game, it's literally all they know about is the gun head shooting thing.
You have full control of your party's actions and tactics, though there's also an auto battle mechanic that lets you plow through any remedial encounters. Whether you're looking for a challenge or just want to breeze through the story, the scalable difficulty ups Persona 3's accessibility.
What kind
Nah,
of
I'll
messed
fix
up
the
ride
lighting.
is this?
When compared to the typical Japanese RPG, Persona 3 feels like a breath of fresh air. Those who have already undertaken the adventure on the PS2 can look forward to the inclusion of a new protagonist and a few other revisions, such as overhauled visuals and a new
There we go.
soundtrack. The frequent save points make it a perfect traveling companion, and it's filled to the brim with content that provides, potentially, hundreds of hours of fun.
We apologize to any customers who are in a hurry.
Look at that. Look at the score. Yeah. 9.0. Yep, that was another, that was funny, because it was like, hi, we have like a week until we're doing Game of the Year awards. Damiani, go review Persona 3 Portable, because we need a review. Make it a review pod. You don't have to make it a full review. I remember the comments on the video, people were pretty angry that we didn't do a full review of the game. A lot of angry comments about why did we take so long, and why was it only a review pod. This next one includes a game that is one of the greats. But one of the games is an insult to this series. The definitive version of Final Fantasy IV. Get that 3D shit out of here.
Anyone looking for the complete Final Fantasy IV experience needn't look any
this
further
is
than
it.
compilation.
PSP version.
Final Fantasy IV,
Get all your other
collection,
casual
comes
versions
with a
out of
version
here.
The original game, updated with new 2D artwork.
Yes.
A sequel titled The After Years, which was previously released in episodic form on
And then
WiiWare,
this shit.
And an all-new installment that bridges
No.
the two stories together.
No.
The enhanced remake looks more natural than the
Stop
more
making
recent 3D
sequels and
remake on the
prequels to
DS,
all these
and the new
damn
arranged
Final
soundtrack
Fantasy
is
games.
a great spin on the classic melodies.
Oh gosh. This
Final
music.
Fantasy IV's revisions are mostly aesthetic, and much of the game's structure and core mechanics remain untouched. There are a few alterations for the better, however, including a relaxed difficulty level during the first half of the game, which prevents newcomers from being overwhelmed. The After Years, on the other hand, feels like an afterthought. Its
Burn!
linear experience is devoid of much of what made the original so good. The freedom to explore, the clever dungeon layouts, and the great combat scenarios are all gone. Despite a few brief moments where it approaches its predecessor, it ultimately comes off as a half-hearted attempt to cash in on nostalgia.
Gutter trash.
Perhaps not surprisingly, the new interlude scenario isn't any better.
That's right. Gutter trash. Get that crap out of here.
You really shouldn't let these poor bundled sequels turn you off, though. Final Fantasy IV is still at the top of its class, and on its own, makes this package worth picking up.
Oh yeah.
If you've never experienced old-school Final Fantasy, this is the perfect way to get acquainted.
I'm sorry, 6. 4 will always be better. Look at that. I had to take away 1.5 because of the After Years crap. Oh man, what a waste. Look at this, because it has kitty animals. I got to play with
Microsoft
kitties.
invites you to get hands-on with exotic virtual
you know
pets
where
and
this is going.
Connectimals, the company's answer to Nintendo.
I got to play with frickin' cats.
Hardware. Connectimals lets you interact
Yes.
with various jungle cats
This is-
in a myriad of mini games.
Yes.
Your inner explorer.
Thank
Whether
you.
It's playing fetch, searching for treasure, racing through an obstacle course.
It
or
pretty
getting
much
your tame
play
pets
with
to good
kitties,
spraydown,
the game.
The game's diverse range of activities never fails to delight. And though it's an experience that you could very much take at your own pace,
It's
there's
kitties.
still a constant feeling of progress. As you and your feline companions bond, you'll unlock new challenges and obtain new toys that tickle their fancy. The illusion works well. Using your hands and feet to toss items and interact with your pet is simple, intuitive, and certainly more immediate than using
Breath
a
of the
remote.
Wild still
But
doesn't
just
look
like
as
playing
good
with
as
a real
this
animal,
visually.
a degree of patience is expected, and the illusion is inadvertently broken at times by the odd visual glitch or brief moments of unresponsive action.
What?
The activities are varied, and the AI is clever enough to keep things moving along without much interruption or aimless wandering. Connectimals' one
Random
big flaw
iguana
is
dude.
that it might hold your hand too much.
I don't know what
even
that
for its
is. That looks like a
intended
Kyle
audience.
Bossman
It's
character
also
right there.
physically demanding to a degree, so expect a bit of a workout.
Did David
if you're
Wise
resident
compose the
couch potato.
soundtrack?
While those expecting a more traditional gaming experience will be turned off after
Crab
the novelty
versus
wears
cat.
thin, Connectimals is perfectly suited for the younger ones in the household, particularly those who can't keep a real pet. Whether your intent is to raise and nurture a virtual pet or sneak some movement into your game time, Connectimals will keep you busy for hours.
Look at that presentation. Look at that. That. So you gotta do, put cats in your game, developers. Guaranteed high score. Just gotta put cats in it. I don't know why you guys are so upset. That game was actually, for a Kinect game, that was pretty good, and that game worked. And if you have kids or whatever, that was like the perfect game because it worked and did what it was supposed to. All the other Kinect games were trash and did not work at all. For some reason, Kinectables worked very well for me. So there you go. Next on the docket. Oh, this would be fun. This would be fun. Yeah. I got stuck reviewing like every single one of these things. Oh, shit. Every single time I saw the Olympics in the headlines, I was like, damn it, it's time for Mario and Sonic, isn't it?
Team up for a third time in Mario and Sonic at the London 2012 Olympic Games. With the Wii being home to more minigame combinations,
motion controls.
A trip to London a record-setting delight, or a cut-rate cash-in.
By the way, you didn't tell I hate motion controls.
You won't be doing much unlocking in this collection, as every minigame is available to play right from the start. With no Motion Plus support to speak of, most of the events require little more than spastic waggling as their main form of input, resulting in a questionable lack of distinctiveness.
No.
Hurling an iron ball by shaking the controller to gain
no.
momentum and hitting a button in the hammer throw event will result in some outrageous deja vu when you realize you just used the very same controls in the long jump event.
No.
Indeed, you'll soon notice that you can successfully complete many events with frantic motions.
Yes, literally. We didn't record this, but you literally could just shake the damn Wii remote. You don't. There's no skill involved.
Valiant attempt in one event will net you a 4th place finish, while another allows you to casually wave around the remote with no concern and place you in first.
Perfect.
A second group of minigames called Dream Events feel more like a set of party games, loosely based on the sport.
Yeah, starting to review at the question, the first paragraph was kind of a rule for a while.
While Dream Long Jump has everyone bouncing.
I even tried to rebel against it by not putting questions at the end, and in the final script, they would still appear there anyway.
The Monkey Ball-inspired Dream Sprint is actually by far the most broken in the entire collection, which is odd, since it's
yeah, you fell through stuff. Oh god, this was so bad. Oh, this was so bad.
The game's last attempt at a second win is London Party, which plays like a bare bones version of Mario Party.
Look at this.
Don't expect any fancy flourishes.
We're putting this on the group stream list.
Just an overhead map of the
there you go.
Where you and 3 friends can wander around and initiate randomized Olympic events. Given that a vast majority of the events aren't much fun to begin with, however, it's unlikely you'll want to bother with this. Past the novelty of seeing the duo together in another game, Mario and Sonic.
When am I getting a Mario and Sonic in a 3D platformer game together?
Point in the Wii's life where Motion Plus has become the standard.
This is like everything but what I want.
This one's just plain hard to recommend.
Can you just make that happen? Can Sonic be in Mario Odyssey? Just make it happen. Nope. 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 Oh, here's another great one. Another special right here. Oh, look. Popular series. We got to review every game in it. I hope you're watching, Bossman, because this game is trash.
There are many reasons why the Pokemon series is a global phenomenon, none more profound than its appeal to an unexplainable impulse to catch them all. The latest spin-off
I want someone who likes this game or the series, please tell me what you like about this.
Those familiar with the WiiWare releases of Pokemon Rumble will know what to expect. A bland, bare-bones game that rips out the soul of what makes Pokemon interesting, leaving behind only a hollow shell.
What is this?
Pokemon's underlying formula is showing its age, so we welcome any attempts to change things up. Rumble Blast ditches the turn-based battles for real-time combat in dungeon-like environments. While that's definitely a promising shakeup, the premise is ultimately as far as its creativity runs. Rumble Blast's battles are a painful lesson in boredom, as you'll fight by mostly pressing a single button to attack. The price of real-time combat is too high. It guts the strategy.
This is a mini game. This is a mini game in Final Fantasy XIV. And that 14
There's little
version
else
has
left to
more
hold your
depth than
interest.
this.
You journey to different locales on a bleak, virtually desolate map, only to be thrown into linear levels with nothing to do other than fight mindless waves of wild Pokemon. Even the allure of training your Pokemon by leveling them
I'm gonna
up
make
is thrown out of the
Brandon
window,
and
except for the
Kyle
rare instances
Jones
when you'll
plays
purchase moves.
Pokemon
You
Rumble.
don't feel any special attachment to your existing lineup because they're ultimately reduced to a number, their power level, and that's all that really matters in the end. The experience ultimately boils down to plodding through levels by means of brute
Switch!
force.
Look at that! Make the switch! Foreshadowing.
Pokemon games usually thrive thanks to their competitive features, and with no online multiplayer, Rumble Blast squanders this element as well. A Wi-Fi option for cooperative play is as far as the multiplayer goes. The ability
Actually,
to battle
yes,
other
Kyle
people's teams
Bossman,
via
you should
Street
put
Pass
this
is
on your
interesting,
dumb game
but
list.
It's not nearly enough. There's no way to trade Pokemon or fight against an opponent's team in real time, leaving you starved for extras.
Just give it an 8.5. Nah.
Rumble Blast looks and feels like something you'd expect on Nintendo's eShop, but instead it's a retail release.
I was nice.
full
I said
price.
eShop
Don't
instead
be
of a
deceived.
mobile
Rumble
game.
Blast is a far cry from the quality you
'Cause that'd be an
expect
insult to
from the
mobile
Pokemon
games.
series.
This music is perfect. There you go. Oh, you should all guess the score. Yes, thank you. Guess the score before it appears. Thanks Obsidian 2004 for resubscribing, and thanks for the happy 1-year anniversary message. Go ahead, guess the score before I get to the end.
As a reinvention of the NES classic,
Thanks,
you won't be
Slicker.
surprised to learn that Blaster Master Overdrive sticks close to the original formula. Your goal is to navigate through a maze of interconnected
5.8.
zones, trying to discover how to reach each new area by scavenging for power-ups and upgrades. Getting around in your specialized vehicle, Sophia, involves lots of gunning and platforming.
Sophia.
Every so often, you'll
Should
break
call
from
it
the
Sophie.
side-scrolling and shift into a top-down view for some on-foot segments. There's some serious backtracking, and even with the in-game map, it's a little too easy to get lost. And it wouldn't be a Blaster Master title without the trademark boss encounters, which, in Overdrive, tend to drag on with boring patterns. Overdrive is easy to pick up and enjoy in the opening moments, but it quickly unravels soon after. Your vehicle handles sluggishly, the upgrades you find don't always function properly, and poor hit detection leads to cheap...
Poor hit detection!
The organizational layout of enemies and traps makes getting through most places
Poor
in the
hit
stage
detection.
a logistical nightmare. It's punishing difficulty
It made it in.
put off, though. Rather than the lack of save points. You really have to dig in deep to earn every inch in this game. And have major
Sometimes I
progress
wonder
points
how many of my
simply too frustrating.
my subtle
There isn't
things
enough fun here
get
to
through.
warrant the aggravation. Some classics should remain where they belong, in our memories.
In our memories. That Advent Children quote. 4.8. Oh my gosh. I don't know how some of these things get through sometimes. No one caught that was an Advent Children quote at the end, but that's not my fault. Oh, this is before Defy. This is